Hi, how are you? It's winter, it's cold outside for many of us, and you may be finding yourself with more negative thoughts than usual, especially if you don't enjoy winter activities. In today's show, I'm talking about negative thoughts, and I share with you 5 ways you can help minimize the negative self talk you may be having lately. Come on in, it's time to choose happy. Are you ready to stop the negative thoughts and live your life free of the limiting stories and fear that stands in your way of living a happy life? Hey girlfriend, welcome to the Choose Happy with Marie show. I am so happy you're here. My name is Marie, and for the majority of my life, I lived with negative thoughts that was often labeled as depression. My breakthrough happened when I broke free from the negative thoughts and I learned the power of choosing happy. In this podcast, you will learn positive self-talk using affirmations aligned with healthy habits, tangible ideas to connect with yourself, to finally figure out what makes you really happy, and everyday living solutions that can help guide you in living a happy life. It's time to get off the hamster wheel of everyday living and intentionally living our life one Choose Happy choice at a time. Come on in. We are choosing happy. Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I have missed you. It's different doing a bi-weekly show. I do appreciate the extra time I now have. I now have more time to engage with you in the Facebook group. And I'm also doing other work that I look forward to sharing with you in the near future. Work such as the Choose Happy morning routine that I'm sharing with you. This is my go-to routine for starting my everyday. So if you're looking to improve your routine, check it out. It's an instant download when you sign up to become a Choose Happy member, and the link will be in the show notes. The link is also on the website entitled choosehappywithmarie.com. So it's my go-to, especially on those cold days when, you just want to be in your pajamas. I know that if I stay in my pajamas, I don't expect to have a productive day. I need to read something positive, drink my glass of water, take my shower, style my hair, get dressed, and not only getting dressed, but also picking clothes that I feel good in. That's something I've been trying to do since COVID, actually, because I used to dress up when I would go to the office, and then COVID hit and we lived our life in sweatpants. And now, with the hybrid, I'm not always getting dressed up, and maybe you're not either. And so it does impact us. I truly do believe our wardrobe does affect us, affect our mood. So I'm trying to intentionally pick items that make me feel good. Also, I'm trying to get outside. Even if it's cold, I do have a dog, so I do have to walk her. So that is my motivator. But if you don't have, a dog to walk, still go outside if you can, weather permitting. Dress up, the scarf, the hat, the warm coat, because it just makes a difference. Absolutely. I truly do believe I feel better when I've nudged myself to go outside, unless it's like really, really, really cold. I mean, that's different, of course. If you could use a step-by-step list that all you have to do is follow it, I highly recommend the Choose Happy morning routine, because it truly, on those days when we're having the negative thoughts and we're just not thinking clearly, sometimes we just need a list of things to tell us this is what you should be doing. And by us going through the motions, sometimes it can help improve our mood. That's on the website, and the link will be in the show notes. So I'll make sure that's there for you. And I want to thank you so much. Truly, I want to thank you so much for the reviews that many of you have left for the show. I was reading them on the Apple website, and it touched my heart to hear how the show is making a positive difference in your everyday life. So thank you so very much. I really, really appreciate hearing from you. I've heard from a few of you who are listening to the show after waking up. And I hear from you that it's helping you get into a positive mood. So I think that is awesome. I am happy to be there for you. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I should be saying good morning as I start the show. I might, depending. You'll have to tell me. I'll have to hear from more of you to find out when you're listening to the show. So thank you for leaving the reviews. It really helps the show be found in the podcast app search bar. And by, you leaving a review, you're giving hope and guidance to others who are also looking for support in choosing happy for living their life. So thank you so much for doing that. And I also want to share with you a review that I did have that really touched my heart. This is by Emily. And it says, Marie inspires me to choose happy. Happiness is a daily choice. I love how Marie's wisdom comes from her personal experience of experiencing childhood trauma and then seeking and choosing happiness in her own life. I am a recovering people pleaser, perfectionist, and procrastinator, so Marie's guidance is so needed in my life. Marie is a ray of sunshine in my earbuds. I look forward to incorporating her affirmations into my life. Thanks, Marie. Thank you, Emily. I really do appreciate the review. So if you haven't left a review yet, please do so on your favorite podcast app. You can pause the show right now or you can do it afterwards. Thank you so much in advance for doing that. All right, let's dig into the core content for this show. Negative self-talk. So thoughts. Our thoughts are ongoing, automatic. When it comes to negative thoughts, it's often in the form of worrying. We're worrying about the future, what could happen. We're replaying past events, what did happen, or maybe our interpretation of what happened, or another interpretation that we're trying to figure out. We're also thinking about parts of our life that we're not happy with. There's many different things that can be part of the negative self-talk. We can also have happy thoughts, and hopefully we have more happy thoughts than negative thoughts. But for many of us, that's not the case. The negative thoughts can take over our mind. And because of the negativity bias, you've heard, if you've been following the show for a while, I often refer to the negativity bias. And if you want to just a refresh on what that means, or you're new to the show, check out episode 4 entitled Why Your Brain Focuses on Negative Things and Tips to Overcome the Negativity Bias for details. And I'll put a link in the show notes. It's like the negativity parks a flag and says, I'm taking over. Seriously, if you experience negative thoughts, especially more than positive thoughts, you know what I'm talking about. You're trying to bring in positive thoughts, for example, through the use of positive affirmations, but the negativity is just there with a parked flag. I know how that feels. That is really hard. There are different negative impacts of having negative thoughts. They can keep us from enjoying the happiness of the moment that we're living right now, the present moment. Negative thoughts can also drain our energy, and it can affect our mental health. Just so we're kind of on the same page, I'm going to define negative thinking or negative thoughts as any form of thinking that sounds rational and accurate in our mind, but it only makes reference to the negativity of a situation. So, an example. I always fail tests before taking a test. You say that to yourself. I always fail tests. I know I'm going to fail this one. We're not even considering that we did all of the right things that would result in us passing the test. We put in the hours of study, we attended the classes, yet for some reason, our brain only sees that we fail tests because maybe we had one test that we failed on a subject that we were struggling with. Yet our mind has led itself to believe that we always fail tests. Inner critic. We all have some sort of inner critic. You know what I'm talking about? Perhaps reminding us to eat healthy when we're about to dig into another bag of potato chips, speaking for myself. Perhaps a veggie and dip would be better, assuming it's a healthy dip. It can become a problem when this inner critic voice is more harmful than helpful, particularly if it gets into the realm of excessive negativity. This is known as negative self-talk, and it affects us mentally and physically. Perhaps unable to think clearly about situations, it can drain our energy, and it can negatively affect our relationships with our loved ones. When our mind focuses on negative thoughts predominantly, it can lead to decreased motivation. We can get feelings of helplessness. And in winter, for some of us, with less sunlight and it's cold and you may not be outside as much, we may find ourselves with more negative thoughts. So I thought today to share with you 5 ways that you could try to minimize negative self-talk you may be having. Start with one. You can see how it works for you. Then try another one and see how that one works for you. So the first one, catch your critic in action. Become aware of what you're thinking and saying out loud. Notice if you're focusing on negative words in your mind or out loud. Ask yourself, would I say this to a good friend? Or even to a child? The second way you can minimize negative self-talk, remind yourself that thoughts and feelings are not always reality. Our brains are powerful. Our thoughts do have the power to skewer information, subject to biases and the influence of our moods at that point in time. The third way that could help in minimizing negative self-talk, and I really like this one, give your inner critic a nickname. I really love this one, and it's an effective technique, and it can make you laugh if you pick the right nickname. If you find yourself that you're stuck in negative self-talk a lot, it's time to name that critic, or time to name that is creating all of the negative thoughts. There was once a Saturday Night Live character known as, and you may remember this if you are a follower of Saturday Night Live, a character named Debbie Downer. This character would find the negative in any situation. The approach is that when you're hearing the negativity, you give it a name. For example, you can call it Debbie Downer or any other name that resonates with you. And then when the negativity is going on in your mind, you can tell yourself, there's Debbie Downer doing her thing again. If you approach this in a lighthearted way, it can make you laugh. Personally, I use this one, and her name is Debbie Downer. I don't want to use just Debbie because I have a real friend named Debbie, and she's not negative, so I don't want to label all the Debbies out there. So when the negative self-talk just won't quit, I will say to her, you've said enough. Time to move on, Debbie Downer. When we see the inner critic as a force outside of us, someone or something that we can influence, we gain power over it. So you may want to give that a try. I find it fun. The fourth way that can help minimize negative self-talk, contain your negativity. If the negative self-talk continues, we can influence it by containing it when it can speak or what it can speak about. For example, something I'll do is I'll give the negativity a time frame for sharing its ideas with me. For example, you, Debbie Downer, have 15 minutes to tell me everything negative that you feel you need to tell me. It actually works. And you can even put like a timer on your phone. Like you're playing a game. You're playing a game with yourself and you're saying, yes, I hear you. And I'm going to give you the time to hear you. And then there's an end point. We need the negative thoughts to have an end point. The fifth way to help minimize negative self-talk, and it may sound strange at first, but it can work, is you give thanks to the negative self-talk. Our negative self-talk, our inner critic, our Debbie Downer, she's trying to help us. She is highlighting what can go wrong. She's actually trying to protect us. I know it may sound strange. Stick with me here for a second. What if we let her say what she needs to say? We give her that time limit, and then we thank her. We listened to what she had to say. We allowed her to say what's on her mind. For example, in the case of, I'm going to fail the test, I always fail tests, we could say something like this. Thank you, Debbie Downer, for pointing out that I could fail this test. I remember that other test that I failed. I remember that was painful. It's a different time now. I studied and I went to class and I know the material well. And it's a subject I enjoy. I can and I will pass the test. Another thing you could do as a bonus is you could say it out loud. Another technique you can do when you find yourself thinking negative thoughts in your mind is to actually say them out loud, even if it's just to yourself. Or you can tell a trusted friend that you're having these negative thoughts about a situation. There's something about saying words out loud that sounds different. So you can give that a try the next time you're experiencing negative self-talk. I hope these 5 ways can help empower you to not let the negative self-talk take over your life. It can. I know what that feels like. It first starts with awareness that it's happening. So you're seeing it happen. And then you can implement different tips or tricks, like I just mentioned, to engage with it. You are in control of your thoughts, not the other way around. I know it can feel like it is the other way around, but it's not. Debbie Downer, she is not the leading lady in my life, and I hope she's not in your life either. Okay? She can drop in and visit and share her opinions, but that's where it ends, and she is getting a time limit. So here's a recap. The first way to minimize negative self-talk, catch your inner critic in action. See it happening. The second way, remind yourself that thoughts and feelings are not always reality. And the third way, give your inner critic a name. And the fourth, contain your negativity within a time frame. And the fifth, give thanks to your negative self-talk. I'd like to leave you with a little quote. Be careful how you are talking to yourself, because you are listening. By Lisa Hayes. A reminder that the next episode will be in 2 weeks. So subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app, and the app will notify you when the next episode of the show goes live. As a courtesy, I also send out an email to Choose Happy members, letting them know that the episode is out, and I give a summary of what the topic is for that week's show. So the next episode will go live in 2 weeks on a Tuesday. If you're not already a member, sign up and receive the Choose Happy morning routine, and it will automatically sign you up to receive the biweekly email. Oh yes, you'll also get a bonus sample pack affirmations from the Choose Happy Affirmations card deck. Until next time, wishing you a wonderful week, choosing happy. Cheers! I hope today's episode empowered you to choose happy as you live your upcoming week. If so, please take a minute and share this episode with a family or friend who could benefit from it. I'd also love it if you could take 30 seconds and leave a review on your podcast app. Just scroll down and you'll see the space to leave a review. Doing this helps the show be found by others who are also looking to break free from negative thoughts and live a happy life. Remember to sign up to become a Choose Happy member to receive free resources as they become available. Link is in the show notes. Thank you for listening. Take good care and see you next week.